Well, then, start it up.
I think your phone broke again.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Reading Toastmaster. We have a full agenda, believe it or not, but light attendance today. There's only 3 of us, but like we always do, we're gonna start on time and roll with it because that's what we do. Before I start off with calling up some roles for this meeting, I'd like to ask our joke master, which is our role as well, to tell us a couple of jokes. That would be Justin.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster. I've got a few jokes here today, pulled up from the wonderful World Wide Web.
A lot of W's in there.
Did you hear about the wig thief who escaped from prison? Police are combing the area to find him. Where do surfers go for an education? Boarding school. One more. Why doesn't it hurt if someone throws a can of Coke at your head?
It's made of air.
Because it's a soft drink,
Oh.
not a hard drink.
Thank you, Justin, for those lighthearted jokes. I'm horrible at them. I'm horrible at riddles as well. But I do like hearing jokes, and it brings a lot of joy and laughter. Right, the other roles I like to call up is table topics, which is me as well. Which is me. I will be taking the table topic role. As a table topic role, I will be coming up with a couple of table topics and asking if anyone is willing to share 1 to 2 minutes about that topic. It can be real, it can be made up. This is an opportunity to allow folks who are either new or who don't have a speaking role in the meeting to volunteer and extemporaneously speak about the topic. And that is going to be the table topic, and I'll be called up to present what the topic is after the speech. The next role is the Augurimarian, and our Augurimarian is Justin. Justin, would you like to share what, or stand where you are and share what that is?
Come right on up here. Got time today, there's only 3 of us. So my role as a grammarian is to introduce the word of the day first, which is diminution. Diminution. It's a formal word that refers to the act or process of becoming less. An example sentence is, the company is committed to seeing that efforts to scale up production do not result in a diminution of quality. The rest.
Could you spell that? Sorry. Could you spell that?
I was waiting for that to come. I knew that was coming. I had a feeling that was coming. D-I-M-I-N-U-T-I-O-N. Diminution. The rest of my role will be for me to listen to word usage and listen for any misuse of words or awkward pronunciation or use of filler words such as and, well, but, and her. Anyone who speaks during the meeting, I'll be keeping track of this. I'll also be keeping track of good word usage and exceptional word usage and application.
Thank you, Justin, for introducing your role as grammarian. Next is the timer role, and I This is my third role. I'm also taking this role as the timer role. My role is to time table topic speeches, the speech itself, and the evaluation, and also the journal evaluator. For table topics, it will be 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll pull up the green when it's signed when you hit 1 minute, the yellow for 1 minute and 30, and red for 2 minutes. The red will help the speaker identify that it's time to stop and not go over the time. For a speech, it is 5 to 7 minutes. For 5 minutes, we'll be holding the green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. Again, 7 minutes, it is to show to the speaker of the speech to properly finish up the meeting because they're going over time. And then for the general evaluation portion, which is at the end, I will hold, it is 2 to 3 minutes. I will hold green for 2 minutes, yellow for 2.5, red for 3 minutes. And that is the role of the timer. Finally, I like to call up the role of the general evaluator, that is Brandee.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. As the general evaluator, it is my job to evaluate the meeting from start to finish, note the things that we did well, note the things that we could work on to make the meeting better. And then I will call up the reports, which is the timers report and the Grammarian report. And then finally, the job of the general evaluator is to give a little bit of feedback to the speech evaluators. In this case, today, it's the speech evaluator who will be evaluating me. So we'll see what kind of feedback I can give. And that is the job of the general evaluator. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Brandee, for explaining your role to us. Next, we'll move on to our core of our meeting today, which is your speech. And I will call up Justin, who will be introducing the speech of this afternoon. Justin.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster. We have to be giving our speech today also. It's a great privilege for me to introduce Brandee today. She's a very good speaker. I always look forward to hearing what she has to share, not only on the content, but also on how she presents herself. I always learn so much from you, Brandee. So I'm looking forward to hear your speech on SoMeridian Toastmasters 3 websites to use. We can't hear you.
That's because I'm muted. All right, so I'm just going to get my screen to share here. Excellent. Can you see the screen? Oh, that's not the screen I want to share. I'm going to move. I'll just move this over. Here we go.
You see the problem. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, that's the problem with 3 different screens, but this is good practice. Although now I'm looking over there. Is that distracting? That I'm looking at a different screen?
No, not
The format of our screen might be different than what you see. So you're on top of
Okay.
Yeah, you're on top of the screen.
And I'm small, right? So, okay. All right, so we'll just start from here. So welcome, Toastmasters. Thank you for my evaluator for introducing me. Today, I'm going to be talking about 3 different websites that are useful as a Toastmaster, and particularly our club, which is SoMeridian Toastmasters. So 3 different websites. I'm going to go over them very briefly. I'm not going to go into too much depth because I only have 5 minutes to do so. And my hope is that all of us can go to these websites and learn a little bit more about them if we aren't in fact already using them. Some of us are using a few of them, some of us aren't. The first one that I'm going to go to is one that I just recently learned about, and that is our district calendar. Now we are in District 2 in Area 56, and then we are Meridian Toastmasters, which is Club 4681. So this is our district. Now, what's nice about this calendar is you can see what's happening. So this is the month of August, and you can go in here and you can see all the different events that are happening, and there's live links to all of them. So for example, I know that this Friday, which is tomorrow at lunch, a few of us officers are attending an officer training. This is the corporate club officer training. So this link will take you to the website where you can register if you already haven't. Again, this is just for some of the club officers of our club. Certain days of the week, I know on Wednesdays, there's open hours from like 7 to 8, office hours where you can go in and you can talk to some of the leadership in the district about different topics related to Toastmasters. And so there's just a lot of interesting information on this website, but it really helps not only the officers, but it helps any of our club members as well. And I just started to kind of look over this website. In addition to the calendar, I'll just pop back over here to the home tab.
Hey, Brandee,
Yeah.
are you wanting to show us what you're telling us?
Is it not showing?
We're still seeing the PowerPoint
Oh.
slide.
Stop. Your screen sharing is paused. Oh, why is my screen sharing paused? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so that's not helpful. I wonder why it paused. That is interesting.
Did something,
Let me try. Yeah, it just said that it had paused.
maybe because it popped up on another web page when you click on the link, or did you have it?
Okay, now can you see this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, there was a little bit of information at the top that said that my screen had stopped sharing for some reason, but I still had the banner at the top, so I thought it was sharing. Okay, so back to our district calendar, which you all did not see. So where I am right now, this is our District 2 website, and you can see here, this is the District 2 leadership. And where I was on this was the events page, which is essentially the calendar for all the things that are happening in District 2. Now, can you both see that now?
Yes.
Okay. So what's nice about this calendar is there's live links to all the different happenings that are, all the different activities and things that are happening. So for example, I had mentioned that we have our club officer training on Friday, which is tomorrow at lunch, and here it is, and you can go here and you can sign up. And so I'm going to be looking at this calendar a lot because I'm the Area 56 director, but I think that this could also be really useful for our club to know what's going on. And this is on the District 2 website. So if you're going to go in there and look at the calendar and you have a little bit of time, it might be interesting to just go around to these different tabs and check it out, see what kind of information is available on the website. So that is the District 2 Club calendar. Next, I want to go to our website for Meridian Toastmasters. And if folks don't have a login to this site, they should go ahead and get that set up, and we can help you get that set up. but I just wanted to kind of show folks how you have to log in. And then once you're into the site, then this is the main page where you're going to go and you're going to see what's going on with our meetings. So here's our meeting today. And this is where you can go in and you can sign up. And you just click on this sign up button over here. As long as you are a member, you can go in and sign up once you have access to this website. If you don't, you'll have to have somebody go in for you. And you can see we were going to have Buffy be the table topics master today. So I had gone in here and put her name in. And then we had Sarah doing the timer. Oh, there she is. Hi, Sarah. So you can see I had gone in here and put her in. But this is really helpful. One of the things that I was hoping our current members might do is go into the edit your profile and make sure that you kind of have information about yourself, maybe upload a photo. So I'm showing you right now mine. And there's all kinds of great information in here. There's a member directory, there's member downloads, information. But really the main thing for this website is having a place where you can sign up for roles. And typically what we do is we have, right now we only have the agenda out till September 4th, which is our next meeting next week. But when Robin goes in and adds more meetings, you can go in and you can plan, like say you want to do a speech every other week. You can then come into the site and go into the agenda, sign up, that type of thing. Really, really helpful. I'm going to go ahead and log out because I want folks to kind of see what folks see when they come in here. So besides our Zoom link to be able to come into our our Zoom meetings, you can come in here and meet our members. And this is cool. So I see Justin in here as our Vice President of Education. He could have a picture. Here's Kim. Here's a picture, nice picture. And then a little bit about him. And down here is me. And I just updated this with my information. So it's nice for folks that are visiting the site to kind of see who is in our club, what are we about, that type of thing. So all kinds of great information on this website. So that is something I want folks to check out. Lastly, but not least, is the international website. You also have to log into this website. It takes a little while for my computer to process the login. So I went ahead and already logged in. That's how it knows that it's me, because it says, hey, Brandee, where can we take you today? There's all kinds of useful information in here. You could spend hours in here, but really, once you are signed up for a pathway, this is where you go to your base camp and you get into your pathway. For me, it's innovative planning. You can see I'm in progress, and I can go in, I can pick up where I left off. I'm in level 4. I can work on my projects. It takes me through my projects. And if you are just starting in your Toastmasters journey and in your pathways journey, this is going to look a little different. It's going to take you to the very beginning of your path. Once you pick your path, and you won't be on level 4, you'll be at the beginning with your icebreaker speech, and then the levels after that. So all kinds of good information in here. I'm not going to go too much farther with this, other than this is a great place to learn information about Toastmasters. And I have the red card, so I'm going to stop there. But I would like to do in the future another speech where I talk about just about pathways. And we can go in, and maybe for somebody who's new to pathways, maybe a new member, we can go in and we can get you started. And I know we did that a while back with me when I was just getting into pathways, and it was really helpful. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to our Toastmaster. And I put the links up here on this PowerPoint site, but I will make sure that I send it out to email to everybody. I'll do a follow-up so folks can go to these links, they can go to these pages, and if they need any help, please let me know, or let Justin, our VP of Education, know, or anyone within the group, and we will make sure you get started. With that, I will finally turn it back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Brandee, for going through your speech. It was awesome to get a review for some of us, and hopefully, I think Sarah is on the other on the Zoom call. Hopefully, she got part of that, and I'll make sure to post this online too. That way, Sarah can actually go to a YouTube website and actually view the recording for if you missed the first half of it. Next is our table topic. And the table topic, I'm going to go back to the cards because I love the cards. I love surprises. Okay. So for table topic, since it's a surprise, I'm just going to start with one. And I will look from the beginning in the middle somewhere. Right, for my question, can somebody time me, please? You don't. Someone time me? Is that all? Oh, you got it? Okay, cool.
I can time.
Okay, you can do both? All right, awesome. Would you make any changes if you found out there's a heaven and a hell? I feel like we had this question before. I'm gonna choose a different one because all right. Question number 2, and I'm gonna stick with this time around.
So you're doing this. Are you getting
Yes.
this one?
I'm gonna give this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So it's
for
not
asking.
bad. Okay.
Yep. Has anything bad ever happened to you that turned out to be for the best? So my question, my table topic, has anything bad ever happened to you that turned out to be the best? Searching my memory bank here for things that turn out to be the best. I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. I will say it's not anything that bad, but it was something that is definitely stressful. There was a time 5 years ago, I was working for the state, and I decided I'm not happy where I'm at, whether financially, what I'm doing, I'm not growing, I'm not learning. And so I started applying for jobs. I must have turned out over a dozen jobs in a month. And happenstance, I had 3 different interviews, Department DSHS, and actually even a lateral move in DOT as well. And out of nowhere, the last one was from the city of Vancouver, Washington. I went through all 3 interviews at the same time, and then I had all 3 offers, and luckily, I had to pick one. And the best one in my mind at the time, which was stressful, was for the city of Vancouver, because I had to move and I had to live up my family and move them. So we did move down there 2 years, 2.5 years. And what was scary about that was that we were away from family, we were away from friends, but it was something new and exciting for me. In hindsight, what happened to be the best was that because of that leap of faith, going to a different era, to a different career, moving my whole family, I built a lot of courage, I built a lot of experience with relationship with my family and what it looks like. And in the end, I'm currently at a role where I'm happy with, and a career path that I'm happy with. And that is what have to share, or what happened to be stressful and turn out to be the best. Okay, who's next for the table? Justin, randomly pick one. And you get an option to turn in if you don't like it, because I did it. Just one though, just one.
How will human beings evolve? That is a great question. Isn't that the answer we all like to know? Hard to project out in the future. You look in the 50s, we should have flying cars by now, back in their point of view. We can barely drive down the road without crashing. I can imagine flying a car and crashing and then falling to the ground. We got to be somewhat realistic on how we will evolve in time. I see AI is becoming the popular thing right now. And what does AI do for us? Makes our life easier. In some ways, that's really good. In some ways, it's not very good. I'm still the generation, I can go and pull up a map and I can get where I'm going on a map. I don't know that my kids can do that because they have a little mini AI called Google Maps, Apple Maps. They get where they're going. It'll be interesting to see where we actually end up in the next 20, 50 years, as we have to use our brains less and less to process certain information that we used to have to process. It may be a good thing. I don't know what we would do. Maybe more exercising, maybe more gyms will open up. There's got to be gyms everywhere. Maybe we'll get time to do our hobbies that we like instead of going to work. Maybe you can go out and carve some trees or go do your what did you like, your ancestors, your cemeteries in Alaska. Maybe you'll have time to do that. Wouldn't that be a great evolution? You'd have time to do that because you wouldn't have to clean your house. You get the little robot to clean your house for you. AI may be a good thing in that aspect. You want to go camping? Hey, let's do it. I'll just have the AI guy pack my car for me and maybe even drive. I'll just wake up and we're camping. Very interesting. There's a lot of possibilities. And I'm looking forward to that. Because as negative as things may seem to be, it may not be all that bad. I think we're heading to a good direction with all the great inventions and creations coming down the line. So I'm looking forward to the next evolution of where we're going to be in the next 50 years. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
All right. Thank you, Justin, for sharing about your thoughts on human evolutions. And I am there with you. I think that AI is going to play a big role. I keep on thinking that 50 years from now, my brain's going to be in a jar somewhere on top of a robot in some brine. All right. So, Sarah, I see you online. Are you interested in doing a table topic? I can pick one from you, or you can, or you can just share something for 1 and 2 minutes if you're still up to it. Anything that you want. And if you're talking, you're on mute.
I guess trying to think of, I can think of a couple, but it's like they're a bit too personal right now to share.
I asked you. And then,
Let's see.
can I ask you a topic question?
Sure. That might be easier. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your summer so far?
Let's see. I guess my summer so far has been all right. It's been all right, I guess. Stressful in the in the sense that stressful, I guess, in the sense that I'm not working and not working yet, and really not working yet, 29 years old, and really should be. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I mean, it's like been doing. I guess I did do some fun things this summer. See, went to Chicago to visit my sister and a couple of her friends in Chicago for 4th of July. She went back to the Chicago area. Well, actually, then 2 weeks later, my sister and her partner came to Washington to visit. And then like 2.5 weeks, later, I met my sister in Milwaukee, and for a research thing, and then we took the Amtrak down to Chicago and spent the weekend with Emily's spent the weekend with my sister's partner. So that was fun, I guess. Now it but it's like now it's back to the job. Now it's back to the job hunting board in my in hopefully my career field, though. I've had 30 30 40, probably close to 50 job interviews since I graduated last year, and nothing yet. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Sarah, for sharing about a couple of things that happened in your summer and what you're looking forward to do next. Hopefully, best wishes for job hunt, and definitely do share with us more about your experience, anything you're going through with job hunt, or any other things that's on your mind, because that's what we're here for.
Okay.
Yeah, just talking about random things or sharing, and that hopefully will help you feel more comfortable sharing about topics that you have in mind, or feel comfortable as you're up here one day. If next time we see you on site again, you will comfortable talking about random things, because that's what we do, talk about random things and be able to vocalize, be able to interact, and be able to feel comfortable now. And so it's a great start, and I think you did really well. Thank you for speaking. I'm looking at 3:49. I think that's going to be the end of our table topic. And so I'm going to shift it over to our evaluator for a speech. Justin, please come up here and give us your evaluation. Brandee, speak.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and honored guest. It's great to hear you speak again today. Really appreciate what you gave us on the screen, the direction, the instruction, very good imaging. You took us right to the website. Very helpful, especially for people who may not have ever been to these websites or been aware of them. It was really good. I knew about 2 of the websites. The third one I had heard about, but I've never actually been there. So it's really good. I appreciate you sharing that with us. I'm going to go ahead and go through your evaluation. And I'm going to start with challenging yourself. Things you might want to challenging yourself on is when you were giving your presentation, you were looking up and to the left, from my point of view. On occasion, you would look forward, and I'm not sure what you were looking at on your end, but that would have been a better view to hold yourself instead of looking up and then back again. So you did have a position where you were really good, like facing the camera, and it felt like you were looking at us with us. Another thing, there was no calendars at first, so you were talking a lot about this calendar that we couldn't see. And thankfully, Kim mentioned it. I wasn't sure if that was the intent or not, for us to not have a new screen, and then he said something, so then we saw that. And also your screen sharing pause, so work out those kinks before giving it somewhere where you're in front of where it really matters. Things you might want to work on, you started muted, so be aware of unmuting from the get-go. Then there was the wrong screen up initially, seems like. I don't know, I can't remember, but that's a note I had. And then knowing the layout of your screen, you were asking questions on how it looked to us. So it'd be helpful if you work on that ahead of time. So when there's a crowd waiting for you for this, if you're all ready to go and know exactly where things are positioned on our end, whether it means having another computer open so you can see or something like that. We had a couple of repeats. And unusually for you, you have a lot of ums and ands in this format. You do really good when you're giving regular speeches. I think you're aware of it. I felt like in this format, you were doing a lot more filler words than you do. You did well. Here's the best part. You gave us great details. You explained well. You took us right to the website. There was no doubt on where you were going or what we needed to do to get there. You took us to every website individually. It was a very good job there. You shared the membership requirements. You explained that you're going here, but because you had special access because you're a member. So you definitely made it clear that you had to be a member to see these things that you're saying. I appreciate that you already had logged in because you knew your computer was slow, so you're prepared. You said, hey, it's going to take a while to load this in front of the group. It was already preloaded, and that made it really nice for us. You just seamlessly went into that next web page. So a really good job on that. You showed how to edit the profile. You went to every tab. So again, we could see exactly what we would see on our end. That made it really helpful. And took us step by step through the sites. I just said that. So thank you, Brandee. I really appreciated that. And even though I've been to a lot of these sites, it really emphasized what I already knew. And it really helped me out on the website that I didn't know about. You gave great details. And I really appreciate the speech, Brandee.
All right, thank you, Justin, for that evaluation. I felt like you almost transitioned to a grammarian report. So, but I can't call you up, that's not my role. So what I'm going to do is introduce our general evaluator, Brandee. You're up next.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our honored guest today. Excuse my dog barking. She's about to bark. Let's see. Let's go ahead and have Justin come up and give the grammarian report, and then I'll do my evaluation after. Justin.
Thank you, general evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Nobody used the word of the day, unfortunately, for the minutia. That was a difficult one, I admit. It was a little bit harder for me to keep track, so probably light on the grammarian report today. I'll start with Kim, because you started us out today. Good word usage, roll. Let's roll into it. Said something along those lines that's really good. Let's see, what else? Let's go to some words you can improve word usage. You had a double call up from the get-go. You had an and so. That's all I had for you. Good stuff. Good word usage. I love the cards. Really emphasize you love the cards. Out of nowhere, new and exciting, leap of faith. Your brain and some brine. Very good word usage and good mental imagery. Brandee, let's see, you had 3 so's, 6 ums, some kind of, couple of kind ofs, and a few ands that didn't really seem to be needed. Good word usage, starting your journey. And I missed out. I was doing on your evaluation. That's about all I had. You had some really good word usage all over, but I might have been lost track doing your evaluation. And then you also had, oh, you transitioned from I look to I just. And then you had corporate meeting or officer meeting. You had a little bit of a stumble there on those two items. And finally, Sarah, you had filler words with ums and a couple repeats. Some good word usage. You had stressful, which you really, the way you said it, said so much. So even though it's one simple word, I got so much out of that one word that you used. I could just tell by the way you said it that it was just impactful to you, which came across very well to us, to me anyway. I really appreciate sharing about your journeys from Chicago to your sister came here, and then you went to Milwaukee, then went to Amtrak. Very nice. Appreciate you sharing that aspect. And also some really good phrases, your job hunt and your career field. It really left good imagery in my mind about what you're really doing out there right now. And that's all my report. I don't have anything on myself, so I did A-okay. No problems on my end, right? Is that how that works? So hopefully Brandee will share some feedback for me on her evaluation.
Thank you, Mr. Augermarian. Next, I would like to call up our timer to give their report. Kim.
All right, thank you, Miss General Evaluator. I'm just gonna stand here and give my report for your speech with all the pause and technical difficulties. I have you at 10 minutes and 36 seconds. Went well over that, but a lot of that was the technical difficulty part of Zoom and screen sharing, which we all have gone through. Justin, for your evaluation at 2 minutes, no, I'm sorry, for your evaluation at 3 minutes and 55 seconds. I recognize as a timer now, since I don't do it very often, that I think it's best to leave the red card up, because then if the speaker or speaker role misses the first time, they're not, even though they saw the yellow, they may not know when the red is coming. So if the red has to get put down, they don't know if the red is coming or not. So that is a learned experience. So red, when you get to red, hold it, because I think you were waiting for that, and that's why you went to 3 minutes and 55 seconds. For your table topic, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Sarah, for your table topic, you have 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And I don't know what my table topic was. Time. I think you showed 2:13 for my table topic. Thank you, Justin, for timing me. And that is all I have. Back to you, Ms. General Evaluator.
Great. Thank you both for your reports. As far as the general evaluation goes, I will say I thought the meeting went well, considering that there was only 3 of us to start, and then Sarah came on. So there was a lot of doubling and tripling of roles. So Kim and Justin, excellent job, each taking multiple roles and doing it with a lot of ease. We started on time. That was great. The room was set up. The technology was there. So that was great. For me as the speaker, I agree with both of you. There was technical difficulties, and I'm realizing it's good to practice before. And so maybe the best way to practice is to do a Zoom call, like a test Zoom call with someone else, or maybe even just go in and do a Zoom, because you don't have to have people in on the call. You can just be in there practicing, I think. So maybe that's a good way to practice in the future for those of us that are giving technical speeches with the technology and the screens and everything. What happened for me is that I have 3 computer monitors So I was looking over here, and I think what really needs to happen is I need to have everything on the main computer that I'm looking at. And as long as things are ready to go, then it should go a lot easier. And we are still running good on time. And for my evaluation, I wouldn't change anything. I agree with the things that you said about the evaluation, Justin. And then I will just say, great job, all three of you on table topics. You all went beyond your 2-minute minimum mark and did very well with what usually are not easy topics because you don't know what they're going to be, right? It's extemporaneous speaking. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to, oh, goodness sakes, who am I handing it to? I guess I'm going to hand it to Justin, our VPE of Education, our VP of Education.
Right, well, thank you, Brandee. You're right. There's just a few of us and we pulled it all together. Thank you so much for joining us, Sarah. What did you think of the meeting? I'm not sure when you came in. Did you come in around halfway or so, or how much of it did you get?
I think I came in around not quite 20 minutes in,
Okay,
but
great,
enough.
good. So were you able to hear Brandee's speech?
Half of it, I think.
Was that pretty helpful?
I'd have to watch the entire speech, but the bit that I did watch, I see it seemed helpful.
Oh, good, good. Well, I thought it was great, and I agree, Brandee, we did a great job setting up and everything, and I think, what we all have training this Friday, right? Did we all three of us sign up? For
Yeah, I need to sign up still. I'll do that right now.
Friday at noon?
Yeah, that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow's Friday. Looks like it's just an hour, so then we'll complete that goal. Or Nat, does anybody want to sign up for roles for next week? I have one speech I can give. We're all good with that? Everybody's gonna be here.